Hello, and welcome again to my talk for this week. It's good to have you with me. I'm hoping that we've now solved a lot of the computer problems we've been having, because as we try to make life more simple, it can easily become more complex. I recently obtained a new computer and was amazed at how small it is compared to the previous one. It then became apparent that various add-on hardware is needed in order to get it to do the things that the other machine did. Today I've spent over an hour on the phone being stopped from working in order to install new software to essentially get the laptop to speak to the monitor. When I set the system up with my previous machine, it involved plugging in two cords, and that was it. All there was to it. As I look back on my life and ministry, I can see that there have been times when I have made things far too complicated. The message of the Christian gospel is a pretty simple one. God loves us, and Jesus shows that love in the world. We as Christians are to pick up that message and to run with it. Too many times I've failed to live up to that very simple ideal. I think the worst example was when I was preaching on the beach in a town called Blackpool in England. Two older teens were doing what they do, making fun of me and yelling abuse. I decided to take them down and address them in a not too friendly manner. Immediately that I started on that road, I knew I was wrong, but it was too late. Later, when we were back at the church hall where we were staying for the 2 weeks we were in town, one of our teens took me to task. She told me that I should not have reacted in the way that I did. She was right, and I knew it. But I justified myself by saying they needed to be taught respect. This incident occurred nearly 40 years ago, yet it still remains with me, and I feel somewhat ashamed when I remember it. As I often say, we're the only Bible that some people will read. I have no idea whatever happened to those two young men. It was a one-off encounter. What I wonder is, what was the effect of my actions on their view of Jesus and his love for them? If someone else had the opportunity to speak to them about Jesus later, I've often thought that they might have brought up that incident. This would have left this other Christian with a more complicated message. She would have had to explain why I did what I did, and probably would have had to have said to them, well, we're all human, before she could even get on to the substance of God's love. I know that I'm setting myself up as someone who made a much bigger impact than I probably did on those two young men's lives. It's likely that they, whoever and wherever they are, have zero recollection of that event in Blackpool. What it's done for me is to make me think about what I do and say, trying not to complicate the good news of God's message of love for others. Once again, thank you for being here today. I hope that you're having a good day. Please remember to continue to pray for those with COVID-19. God bless and stay safe.